You ever have one of those moments where you realize with absolute certainty that people are going to think you're lying? Yeah, that's me, Jeremy Hartwell Tech, refugee, pool pariah, and apparently the worst thing to happen to Colorado suburbia since chain link fences. You'd think a guy cashing out of the tech grind after 2 decades after surviving boardrooms full of sharks and selling a company just north of 40 would finally get to live quiet, maybe even dull. But let me tell you, if you want boring, do not build yourself a minimalist concrete glass estate in the Colorado woods, especially not on land the local HOA president thinks belongs to her kingdom. All I wanted was a little peace. No more matching mailbox drama, no more color palette wars. Just 9 acres of my own tucked into the foothills outside Boulder with trees. Boulders, a long gravel driveway, and my favorite thing, a private pool that disappears into the woods like a secret agent's daydream. My castle, my rules, my kids running wild, my elderly mother living comfortably in her own wing. You get the idea. Not a neighbor in sight, no HOA in the legal vicinity, and the only mail I was expecting was Amazon packages and maybe the odd postcard. But then it came a crisp, white envelope, gold embossed so official it made my taxes look cheap. Clear Valley Hills Homeowners Association. I thought, okay, maybe they want to introduce themselves, bake sale or block party or whatever. Nope. The letter basically read, "Hey Jeremy, since you're clearly rolling in it, how about you let us build a community pool on your property on your dime, of course. Our design team will handle everything. We'll even throw in a cabana. Can't wait for your cooperation. Signed who else? Karen Stockbridge, President." For a second, I honestly looked for hidden cameras. This had to be a prank. Or maybe a joke the neighbors play on the new guy. I let it slide, figured ignoring her would send the right message. Oh man, was I naive. Next morning, I'm rearranging the garage when I hear a knock, not at the gate, not the intercom, but right at my front door, which means someone walked up the drive through the trees past my private road signs. There she was, Karen Stockbridge herself. Late 50s tan bob haircut, blue blazer, so sharp it might have had its own legal degree. "Mr. Hartwell," she says, offering a handshake like we're at some country club. "I trust you got our letter." I nod. I did. Thought it was a joke. She says deadpan. "The board is quite serious. The community has no pool. You have one. This is your chance to give back." I remind her as politely as I can muster, "I'm not in your HOA." She actually tilts her head and tells me proximity implies participation. It's about civic spirit. You know what I mean? "My dear are closer to your clubhouse than I am." She barely blinks. "We could always take a more formal route," she hints. That's when I laugh straight from the chest. "Karen, there is no we, there's you, and there's my property. Next person who skips my gate is meeting my lawyer." She stiffens jaw tight and walks off like she just lost at Wimbledon. That's when I knew peace and quiet. Gone. 2 days later, I'm on my deck with coffee thinking I'll get a little quiet before the kids wake up, and what do I see? 4 big metal signs staked right up against my property line, all in bold letters. Construction Zone Community Improvement Project. Pedestrian Detour. From a distance, it looked like I was about to break ground for a neighborhood water park. Cute. But the stakes. Just barely outside my property public easement, like she wanted plausible deniability. I call the county. They confirm no permits, no projects. I shoot a note to my lawyer and send some photos for good measure. Then I go to the store with my daughter Lily, and some random guy in a Patagonia vest walks up real friendly. "So when's the pool supposed to open?" he asks. Apparently Karen's been telling anyone who'll listen that I'm already building it, solar panels, eco filters, the works. I just smile. Karen says a lot of things. "You should hear her take on the moon landing." He blinks. I drive off, and the rumors spread faster than wildfire in August. Pretty soon, I'm getting looks at the coffee shop, side eyes at the post office, flyers with passive-aggressive slogans about bridges, not walls. But the worst was what Karen did to my mother. My mom, 76, just out for her usual walk, comes home shaken. "Some woman told me your father would be ashamed. Said money makes men cruel." I pull the driveway camera. Sure enough, Karen, purple tracksuit, laying into my mom like she's a Bond villain. That's it. I double up the cameras, add a motion sensor at the mailbox, and file a harassment report with the county. Every sign, Every snide comment, every rumor documented. 3 folders on my desktop, one for evidence, one for legal, one labeled plans for war. Then comes the show. I opened my gate one morning to 12 people in matching Clear Valley United t-shirts, homemade signs, one guy even with a megaphone, boycott Hartwell greed. Karen's in the center, sunglasses, clipboard, chin up like she's leading a parade, not a cult. Just exercising our First Amendment rights, she chirps. I record everything. Visibility, she explains. You could have contributed, you laughed at us, you left us no choice. I ask, you're suing me. She walks away without a word. Next thing I'm in the newsletter headline, Wealth Without Responsibility. Local resident rejects community appeal. My daughter asks why her friend's calling me a selfish hoarder. That's when it's no longer funny. Then comes the lawsuit. Thick envelope, big law firm accusations straight out of science fiction. My land apparently is historical community access grounds. My pool has regional relevance, and my house shares the neighborhood's aesthetic. Never mind, my place looks like a Bond lair, and theirs look like copy-paste McMansions. But Karen doesn't want to win. She wants to exhaust me, shame me, force me to comply. She doesn't know who she's dealing with. My lawyer Dana pulls the county records. Not only is my property not in the HOA, it predates the subdivision. Their evidence is doctored, their maps forged. We countersue for defamation, harassment, property fraud, and civil conspiracy. Dana even files a formal complaint with the state against the HOA's legal team. I call up my friend